name is Cher, and welcome to my channel. I like anything from art to music to makeup and more. And today I wanted to do a look inspired by my new jewelry from Playboy and Missguided. So, jumping right in, we are starting off with foundation. I usually go for a color that matches my body as opposed to my face, because my face is a bit whiter than my body. And then I will take my little flat brush, which looks dense, but it's not really that densely packed. So it kind of looks like I'm going pretty rough with the brush, but that's the only way I find that it blends it out well. And again, I don't mind if it takes some of the product off. I am not going for coverage with foundation, more so the effect that my skin is a bit darker. And I will just go around the perimeter of my face, anywhere that I will not be putting concealer, because I don't want to put all that product on my face and make it layers on layers. I like it to be pretty natural. And then I'm just showing you that I'm using a little bit more foundation. And I do put some on my eyes so that when I add the concealer, it just creates a nice base and you don't see any of the veins that naturally show on your eyelid. Just trying to make sure that there are no little brush strokes that were left from the brush, and good to go. Next is the concealer. I use two different shades. One is closer to my natural skin tone, and that I will use all over the T-zone, anywhere that I want to hide a bit more redness, but not necessarily to brighten. And if you have blemishes, that's when you would use a color closer to your skin tone. And then a little bit on the eyes as well. And then I'm putting the brighter concealer directly under my eyes and on the tip of my nose, and on the chin and the forehead as well. And I actually got a set of these brushes as a gift for Christmas. So I'm using one of the smaller ones to blend out the concealer now. And they're really nice. They're just flat, so pushes the product around pretty nicely, and they're dense as well. And I really like to make sure that it's blended into my skin a lot, because the more you work the product in, the more like your own skin it looks. I like to blend the two concealers in together where they meet, so it creates a nice gradient and blends well. And then for the concealer on my cheeks, I almost never blend past my cheekbone or my apple of my cheeks, because I want you to see the transition from the concealer to the foundation to the blush, etc. And it just makes it blend a lot nicer if you kind of have that little ombre moment, if that makes any sense. And then I conceal my nose just because I have a lot of redness that will show throughout the day if I have just one powder sitting over top. And then it's a good idea, if you have leftover product on your brush that you did not blend into your face to kind of cover up any acne that you may have missed with concealer itself. And then you don't waste product. 2 in 1. Next, we will go into some powder. I take a light colored powder. Normally I go with translucent, but this is a pretty light one, and I like it because it doesn't take away from that brightening concealer we used, but it covers up everything and just makes sure that it's set for the day. And this kind of adds a bit more coverage if your concealer and your foundation are on the lighter side of coverage. And with any extra powder on my brush that I don't want all over my face, I'll just tap it back in the cap of the powder. And this also helps you not to waste product. And I really, really like to make sure that everything is set nice and evenly because I do apply powder contour, bronzer, and blush over top. And if you don't set your face makeup properly, then you can get patchiness on the areas that you're trying to put color onto. And for my face, I like a really nice blended out appearance. So with just a little bit more time and effort, you get a much better product in the end. And then I set my eyes because, again, I don't want patchiness when I blend out my eyeshadows. Next, we are going in with some contour and blush. I take a pretty warm shade to contour because, first off, I want this look to be a little more like golden, cozy, warm, that vibe. And so here I'm just putting it in the hollows of my cheek. And then I like the bronzer effect it gives as well, but without it being a bronzer you apply all over your face. And then I always make sure that I get close to my ear because I don't want a weird cutoff from where the bronzer starts and stops. I want it to flow around the perimeter of my face, so I often put it right next to my ear. And then, of course, on the jawline to define it a bit more, a little bit under the lip, and then around the hairline. And I never go too hard with this one because I don't really mind how my forehead looks in general. So I usually just get a nice even wash of color on there to mesh well with the rest of my face. And then I'm taking a little brush from that same set and applying to my favorite places on my nose, which are right between the two nostrils, blending it downward, and then the sides of my nose, trying to create a straight line. And I do also make sure that I blend the contour up into my eyebrow area just to really connect it all and avoid any starting and stopping. Again, we want it to blend and look really natural as can be. And then right above the tip of my nose. And I blend the bronzer up to the halfway point of my nose as well, and then blend out the sides. And then moving on next to the blush, taking a nice medium fluffy brush, and it's this nice kind of pinky reddish blush. which I think usually goes well with golden shades of highlighter, and if my bronzer is a bit more golden as well. Then I blend on the cheekbones first and then move it inward towards the apples of my cheeks. And with whatever's left, I will go on my chin and my forehead, pick up a little more on the brush, and then do the underneath part of my nose as well as the bridge, right over top of that contour. Now for highlighter, I'm going with a champagne-y shade, and this one in particular is really beautiful and bright, and it's from Ofra in Rodeo Drive. I'll go at the tip of my nose, right where the indent is, and then on the Cupid's bow. And then, of course, at the very high point of my cheekbone, more towards my eye, a little bit underneath the eyebrows, and then I'll connect it to where we put the highlighter on the cheeks themselves, and then a little bit over my brow bone. And in the tear ducts, lastly. Moving on to eyes, I'm going in with the Mini Controversy and I'm taking a nice medium-sized blending brush, going in with a warm brown for a transition. And I didn't really know what shape I was going for, so I kind of just wanted to get the color on first and see where it took me. Making sure I blend as I go. Here you can see I kind of winged it out, so that is the shape I ended up going with, was a more winged out, lengthened eyeshadow as opposed to rounded and like taller. Now I'm just trying to get them even and blended. If you've seen my previous videos, you know I like to keep it pretty simple with the eyes in general. So I'm only doing 2 shades for this look. Then I'll blend the same color we used in the crease down on the lower lash line. Next, I'm going to go in with my finger and this nice taupey champagne-ish shade. Pop it onto my eyelids. And I didn't show it, but after this step, I did go back in with the blending brush, no extra product, and just blended the crease a little bit more so they would blend together, the 2 shades a little better. Next, I'm going to go in with the glitter liquid eyeshadow. This one is so pretty. It's like a silver, and it looked a lot like diamonds to me. I was trying to go for a look that would suit my new jewelry as stated before, and it is gold jewelry with some little like rhinestone Swarovski crystal type things. And then for eyeliner, I wanted to go pretty small with the wing, so I didn't make it very bold or thick. It was not too long either, just something subtle but to enhance the shape of my eyelashes. I really like the flared out, winged out look. I think it suits my eyes and makes them look more upturned. And then I'm doing the mascara and the eyebrows next and off camera. They are on, and now it's time to move on to lips, which is our final step. And I'm taking a nice brownish nude shade with like a hint of pink. And I'll go on the bottom lip, smudge it out and see where it naturally lands, and then just line the top lip, not really adding a ton of product, and then I'll smush it out some more and really make sure that that's where it's going to be for the day. Taking some shimmery gloss on top and just doing one little swipe, rubbing it in, and voila, that is it. That is all we got. All done. Thank you for watching. And I post every Tuesday and Friday. So please join me again next time, guys. I hope you enjoyed.